What did you say?
I thought it was never gonna win.
Why were you never gonna win with your twin?
I don't know. I don't really care for the damn song. I think that song is overrated.
I think it's very catchy. I think that for me, Ann called me twin anyway. So like when I heard it and I was like, oh. And then me and my cousin, me and my cousin, every time we bring each other food, it's like we just break out in a song because we love food. So just pop out. It's song. It's especially because of like the TikToks and stuff like that. It has like made it just even more stuck in my head. Sometimes it literally lives there rent free. Yeah.
TikTok.
And it don't stop.
I love they TikTok, I swear.
Well, they say it's gonna go, so it's gonna be all right.
That shit ain't never gonna go.
Okay.
TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. I think we have found, and Facebook. We put Facebook in it too. I think we are in a generation where we have found the 4 social medias that's never going away.
Okay.
Not in our lifetime, anyway.
Okay.
You think it is?
I don't use social media. It don't matter to me.
I know you don't use social media, but still.
And I don't have a thought process in it because, like, the only thing I think about TikTok is just the idea, of them trying to ban it. But I've also understood that they've also, took Facebook to court, but now he got Meta, and so at this point, does it really affect anything? I don't know, but I guess it don't affect me enough for me to care. I'm just telling you the thoughts that I hear, or the articles that I've read. What does that mean? Why are you laughing? What happened?
Because we literally 2 episodes ago, I was like, why do people keep thoughts and they all care about things that have nothing to do with them?
Yeah.
And you just clearly stated, I don't care about social media, so that's just something I just don't care about. And you don't have a thought on it, and I respect it.
Okay, so
I respect it.
All right, so what was? Did I say something different?
Yes.
What did I say, Greg?
It was on the lines of because you should want to know.
No, I didn't say that. That's not true. I even placate. I even give the narrative of people that are just ignorant to certain things or unaware. So their thought processes and the way they think. So I wouldn't say that, Greg.
But you did.
But I didn't.
Okay.
Okay. Give me the clip.
First off, I'm not doing that.
Okay. So I just think that you want to have an opposing. I feel like we definitely had an opposing sides to it at some point, but I wouldn't have said that.
You did, because my argument was everybody don't need to know everything.
What?
And you said, but you should want to know.
Yeah, just because you want to don't mean it happens. Sure, I want to get $1 million tomorrow. Shit, it's not happening, Greg. I don't.
I'm just saying because I could have easily been but you should know about social media.
Okay, and I would say you're right, but I just choose not to. It's just like a child that grows up in a place where they've never seen anyone outside of what they look like. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, we have social media now where you have access to the internet, but what happens if they don't have access to that? And they've been in this bubble this whole time.
I think you agree with me on so much, but you just don't like to say it.
I feel like I said this before.
Do you think children are taught things? Or
what?
Think of big life lessons. Do you think racism, gender, all that stuff, do you think kids are taught that? Or they're just born with it? Especially sexuality.
No, you can't put all of that in the same conversation.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
I think you can.
No, and that's where we differ in the conversation. I can't do that, and that's fine with me. But I'm not. No, that they are not all equal in that same aspect.
I think so.
They're not.
Why not?
Because you can't tell me that I was taught to be attracted to women when the social norm is for men and women. We don't.
Think of the word taught and influence as the same word.
No, see, now you expanding the conversation, Greg.
No, I'm not. I'm asking.
Being taught and influenced,
they're not the same?
No. They're not the same.
What's the difference?
Social media's influence, your home life is what you're being taught.
So you don't think social media teaches you anything?
I think it depends on the information that you're looking for.
So the same influence that your parents can have on you don't think social media can have the same influence on someone?
Greg, I can't speak for everybody.
I'm not saying speak for everybody. I'm asking. This is just simple questions.
Well, you still asking about somebody that don't use social media.
I'm not asking for Gigi per se. I'm just broadening it out.
You want me to speak for the people?
I'm not asking you to speak for anybody. I'm asking you in the world.
Okay.
Can you not see a situation where a parent influence is as big or more or less than social media's influence?
I can see it.
So you don't think that? So it goes back to the question of you don't think that things, and you don't have to lump them all together, but you don't think things like sexuality and racism and all those things.
You can't stop saying sexuality, Greg. That's a different conversation. You
I
can't tell me like you're not.
What do you think I'm asking you?
I don't know, but when you're even just bringing up the idea of like when you're saying that sexuality is something that someone tells you that you have to do, like it's a personal feeling.
I never said any of those words.
What's surrounding me. You've seen there's parents that are in a same-sex marriage and their child still turns out straight. So that's not taught. So stop putting sexuality into the conversation.
Like you don't even understand what I'm asking.
So ask me clearly.
I am clearly asking you. Okay. You don't think that in a world, not saying that it happens for everybody.
Okay.
You don't think that sexuality, racism, education, those things cannot be influenced based on what people feed themselves, whether on social media, in their household, their community. You don't think those things are influenced?
Okay, when you talk about sexuality, can you please expand on that? Because I agree with everything except you saying sexuality. So can you just tell me when you mean sexuality, what does that mean?
Do you think someone comes out the womb gay? And I'll give you my answer. I don't think no one comes out the womb gay or straight. I do believe it's influenced.
I don't think it's influence.
Okay.
I don't think if it's just influence, you can always change your thought process.
Absolutely.
So if it's influence, like that's something that you can help. That's something.
And I feel like that happens all that. And that's why I think it's influence, because I see it happen all the time.
But it's not, because sexuality in itself could be fluid. However, we have taught in society what is right in our eye, right in their eyes. And now we have seen different dynamics of relationships. And I don't think that has anything to do with what was taught to me. It's a feeling. That's a part of you. Like, it doesn't matter if they kept telling you, like, you have to be straight, this is what you're supposed to do, because of the influence in our house. Like, you see this 2-family household that now you're supposed to be a straight man. But if you are gay, then you are gay. Like, I don't, that, they are two separate entities. Like, that's, if we're talking about the idea of being sexual, maybe at an earlier age because of social media, I can see that. But I can't see you telling me that my sexuality is chosen because of influence. No. If the influence for society would tell everybody in any different relationship outside of a heterosexual relationship is wrong, and that's not the case. So the influence is negated. Like, I feel how I feel, and the influence means nothing because I'm going to feel how I feel sexually and romantically about this individual. Okay. So I don't think they're the same. So when you're putting them in an umbrella, I can't have the same conversation with you, Greg. But I can tell you about the other two. Absolutely.
We just had a full conversation about it. We can't. You just disagree with me. That's fine.
Well, here we are.
It's totally fine. All right. Body to body.
See, I'm never gonna lie like that.
I hate that song. I'm gonna say I hate it. I just think it's overrated. It just seems like a fad. It just doesn't. It's so catchy. It's TikTok worthy. I don't think it's timeless. It's a good song. I'm not saying that it's a bad song. It's just,
I'm sorry, Greg. Anytime somebody say twin, Greg, ain't nobody gonna forget that. Like, it has now, like I said, like, it even gets to the point where it's not even about like me watching it or anything like that. Me and my friend just be, we bring each other food, and we like be popping up like twin, and then it's just, and then it's a vibe, Greg. And I think that I have to, although I'm not always the biggest fan of the current times music, but there are some that are catchy or not. I can tell you that she took the route that was better for her than trying to do it on a mainstream. And the idea that she did it, and when I say mainstream, I mean like, you know, like feeding the money into like the radio stations and stuff like that. When you realize that people are predominantly on the internet, and so in order for you to make
mainstream now,
huh?
The internet is radio is not mainstream.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like instead of putting, because that would be the, well, okay, yes, anymore. But that would be that's the, you know, usually the setup.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So now understanding that there's a different avenue that can make your song go viral. Like, yes, Greg, it probably gets to the point where every time you might be swiping on your phone, you just keep hearing it. And maybe, yes, I get that. But I think the fact that she wrote the song, the idea that she didn't sell it and she did it herself, and it got so viral without even being any of the top 3 R&B artists, like at that time, really plays homage to how social media can play a part in your growth. Because to the point you just started singing a song, right?
Yeah, it's very catchy. I think it's super catchy.
So good, and she wrote that. She did. Let's continue. Let's get into these conversations.
Shout out to Money Long. I hope your money stay long.
It will. She's a songwriter, Greg. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
That's true. Songwriting.
Yes.
I wonder if a songwriter makes as much now though, because of how.
You gotta look at the contract. You also have to understand the value of the contract that you're looking for. So that's really what it is now. Before, people wanted to do it for, you know, what the word we use now is like clout, and be able to be more open to more opportunities to maybe eventually get paid. But now, acknowledge me.
Acknowledge. All right, banter.
Pay me. You don't just put my name on something and I don't get no money. Yeah. Pay me.
I just wonder. I wonder how people. Well, no, I wonder. I know how people make money in music. It's just that music, in my opinion, music just isn't super timeless anymore unless you are the A celebrity like a Kendrick, Drake, or Cole, or even R&B like a Usher or somebody. Who's a big R&B? That's the other thing. Who's the big R&B stars? Like a Summer or SZA. If you're not one of them, is your music really staying around?
Yes, because everybody don't just stay onto the mainstream music. Like there's so many other artists that don't get, they didn't, you know, sign those contracts, but you still have them on your playlist. Like if I have opportunity, I would go to their concerts. Like, yes, I think that what's on the mainstream media, whether it's on there's always.
But that's what I'm talking about, because that's how money was usually made. It's like if you are on the Billboard, if you make it to Billboard, you're getting some residuals. And I feel like there's not really people on Billboard anymore. Like there's not timeless music. Like there's nothing like you run to unless you're a fan of it. Like, are you gonna run to the next Money Long song? She did. Banter. All right, banter question for today.
Like, what's the point of having a playlist if there's different songs on it, Greg?
No, I agree with you. I 1,000%.
Like,
I mean, my playlist isn't mainstream music either. I'm just saying.
It's okay.
No, but that's not what I was asking.
All right. Let's do this, Greg.
Banter question. What is something that you wish you had more time for?
I'm sorry, I'm crying. Like, nothing like, so many, like 6 different answers popped into my head all at the same time. I was like, Gigi, relax. See what I would want to. Ooh, I don't like my answer. I had self-awareness day. Stop worrying about everybody else and just like make more time for myself. I feel like although like there are times that I have for myself, I think I've dedicated more time to others when I should be trying to do that into myself. So I think my more time is with me. Yes.
Understandable. I was going between two things. I think I'm going to go with the answer of just not to think. I wish I had more time not to think.
So you got my answer just in a different way.
Okay. I wish there was. I wish I had more time to be carefree, where I didn't have to think about the next thing or how a bill is going to get paid or when I'm hang out with people or stuff like that. Just wish there was a freeing element there, more freeing time.
So you time.
I'll just do whatever I want.
Yeah, you time. You see, we got the same answer.
Like us?
Yeah, look at us.
Do
This is the first answer, yes. You said it in so many words. I mean, okay. If you think it's different, then that's cool. But that's
no,
what I
don't think it's different. But yeah, there's more time to do, more time not to do.
Understood. Okay. Can I advance the conversation with you in that your last response?
Yeah.
Do you feel that you have control over that?
Right now, no.
Okay.
Because if I did have control, then this wouldn't be something that I'd be wishing I could do because I would be doing it. You usually come from a place of uncontrolling.
And not setting boundaries.
I get what you're saying, but not in this situation. Not in this case.
Well, when you gave me that answer, I thought in a general situation, so I don't know if this was a specific. I'm not speaking.
No, I'm saying like in like right now, what's going on with everything that's going on is not about setting boundaries at all. It's just about not being in control of anything that's happening.
So how do you think you can do that?
If I had the answer, I would have done it already.
And I think that you should revisit. Now, boundaries doesn't have to be hard lines or anything like that.
When I think of boundaries, that means you need to like. I don't want to even say cut people. Not even people, or person, or things. It's more.
You're thinking about it so definitively, and it has nothing to do with that. Like
what's the boundary?
The boundaries is just setting an understanding of things that I may need for me. Has nothing to do with what I can't do for you or what I can't be around you. Sometimes it's understanding what I need for me. So there are some situations where you set boundaries with people. An example was I still continued a relationship with one of my close friends until like it became non-existent. But I started understanding that although I was chilling with them, I no longer could share certain information. So it wasn't that I had to cut them out of my life. I just had to have a better understanding of how to deal with them in my life. It wasn't, or there'd be times where there's a person that would drain my energy. So after I chill with them, like I've already let them know there might be times where Gigi might go ghost for a little bit. Not because I don't care, I just need to recharge. And that's just allowing to let people have a better understanding of what I need in order for me to be me for you.
Yeah, and I get that. But not even a but. Like I understand that. It's just that that's not the situation. Like that's not what's happening right now for me. Like to me, that is fixable. Like Greg fixes that easily. Like that's easily fixable for Greg. What's happening right now is just not easily fixable. Because if it was, it would have been fixed. Knowing the person that I am.
Yeah, but you already said that it's out of your control, so now you gotta ride the wave.
Let me not say that's probably the wrong phrasing too, because it's not out of my control. It's more of I don't know how to deal with it.
Okay. See, look, ooh. The more you know.
Sure.
Yeah. Sometimes when things are new, I think that's the part of growth is like it becomes uncomfortable because when you've kind of lived your life where it's like you like the level of hope of your time where it's just like you see something broken or it needs to be fixed or it needs to be replaced or someone needs to be supported or, you know, just being attentive to anything when it comes to even your craft. It's like there is going to be a moment when you got to reset.
For sure. I Greg.
So you'll figure it out.
I have no doubts that I will. Just that when you're stuck in it, you're stuck in it.
Don't call it stuck.
Okay.
Because that sounds definitive.
I think anything can sound definitive, but nothing is definitive. Ooh, that's good.
I think that you're just in an unknown place and you're just learning how to navigate through it. So I don't think that you're stuck. I just think that you're looking for a tunnel. There's a spot in there, like you're not stuck.
You are a big believer in words.
Absolutely. Words have power, Greg.
I'm not.
Words have power. Like if you curse at someone like that's like regardless of how the intentions is or whatever, like that can affect somebody. Like words honestly have power. That's why when we do this podcast, like you listen to what you say and you understand that it's going not just here, but it's going through like masses, and how even our tone of voices, like our laughs and stuff like that, like help people through their day. So if we are gonna be on here, we should be impeccable with our word. Like say what we mean and mean what we say, because
all the time. That's why recently I haven't had any yet. I don't really care. Words for me are just words. I think for me action is bigger. I could care. Like words are just words because they are like there's a definition to it. There's a definition to every word. I think when you add emotions and feelings behind them, then it becomes something bigger. And I just decided I don't give words that kind of power.
Okay, but our love languages are also different. So for me, I'm like the words of affirmation type of person. That's the love that I give. So for me, that's why I take words more seriously. That's why I have to sometimes understand what you're saying so I don't get offended, because maybe you don't think anything of it, but I may have felt some way about it. So let's clear that up.
That happens often.
Let's use our words so I can better understand. And so
we use a different set of words.
Yes, because sometimes you use the wrong words and it comes off very All
right, here we go.
What was that noise?
Well, I'm just saying that you have either underestimated the thought process of this woman.
You don't think I prepare?
This is too much.
This every week, bro.
I'm ready.
The gist of this conversation is that I'm right and y'all wrong.
Gigi.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Convo 158, just a conversation with Greg and Gigi. I'm the person that talks first. And I am joined here by my sister. Gigi, how you doing?
I don't like when people say and I said it. Sorry, you guys. I'm okay. It's like, don't think about an elephant. Elephant. I've been all right. I've been learning how to navigate better around my workspace, home life, my relationships. It's been a journey in itself because of like whatever personal things that I may be going through, like behind the scenes. So I just think I'm starting to just find more clarity and just more peace with that. With growth comes change, and sometimes things feel uncomfortable. And when you get to those spaces, you start realizing that if it was gonna feel good, or if it was gonna be okay, that's not what I was wanting to say. That's not it. I'm just gonna say, I've learned to start setting boundaries in my life, and just being able to navigate through that. I think I became really vulnerable at one point, to the point where I felt like like you at one point. I didn't have control of anything that was going on. I really just had to accept it and just deal. And I was like, eventually the storm will be over and it'll be past it. But I realized that I found a way that I was feeding that storm at the same time. Although, like, because I didn't find any sense of control in it. And so now, I'm on the other side. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. And there are just certain things that I know that with change will have a little hurt and grieving periods, but I'm gonna be all right. That's it. That's all I got. I said a lot of things without saying a lot of things. How about you, Greg? How are you?
Been feeling alone. Self-inflicted alone. On purpose. Because I just don't want to. Right now, yeah, it's like the only thing I can't control is myself and being alone. So I've just been alone. I didn't isolate myself. People know where I'm at. I say hello to people. But just figuring it out by myself. And I know I don't have to. And I probably shouldn't, but that's where we at right now. I'm gonna come out the saying eventually and be like, hey, you know, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. But
when you said that, I did go out that night too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just didn't have to pay for anything, so like it just made it so much nice. It was cool.
That's always good when you gotta pay for shit.
Yeah, right? It was a really good feeling. I mean, I always had, like, if I needed to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, don't play me. But and I didn't. It just felt just a little bit more relaxing.
Understood.
Yeah, so.
So yeah, I've been. So that's me. But
I want to ask a question for you, Greg, and if you don't want to answer, that's okay. So it's very interesting. At the top of the show, you had explained that you want to have moments where you don't think, or you just want to have, and it looks like that's what you have been doing, but it doesn't seem like it's being so conducive to what you actually need.
No, see, that's why I think you just didn't understand what I'm saying.
Okay, so maybe.
So when I say, at the top of the show, when I was saying that I wish I had more time not to do nothing, that usually means everything is great, because I can close my computer. I can not think about all my problems. I can not think about where the next bill is going. Just not think about anything. That means everything is going smooth. Everything is great. But when things aren't going great, and like I said, I'm trying to figure shit out, being alone. Yeah, being alone. If I'm social, that's a good thing. If I'm not, it's usually not a good thing.
Well, yeah, I feel like I could definitely understand.
Do you understand how those two things are different?
Yes, now I can, because I think I've done that too, but more for me than you. So it's a different type of sense, but I think everybody's gonna go through it. Everybody has a season.
For sure,
you're gonna be all right, I think. But I was just very curious to just know that, like, it sounded like you had it, but it wasn't working. But
No, I don't have it.
Okay, understood.
I don't have it.
Understood.
If I did have it,
yeah,
it'd be a different conversation. But on the bright side, Ava graduated kindergarten. That was cute, and it was cool.
Congratulations, Ava! Woo, 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 woo,
she was nervous about doing a Pledge of Allegiance, and then she went up there and embodied the shit and was telling the little kid next to her, "Chill, your wrong arms." My kid is something different. I'm telling you.
Yes, she's Ava.
She is. She gonna be somebody boss. I'm telling you.
Absolutely, she already is.
That's fair. And she ain't got her front two teeth no more. Oh, it's the cutest thing ever. So, yeah, that was definitely the highlight of the week. Going to that, seeing her graduate from kindergarten.
Yay!
She's ready for first grade. She's a smart cookie.
She's a genius cookie, and she's
For sure.
very emotionally intelligent.
She is.
Yes, and you're agreeing with me, because it sounded like a question, but I
agree with you.
Yeah,
I think she is. I think my daughter is in the top 5% of smart 6-year-olds.
Yeah, she asks
and I know
right
I'm
questions.
saying that just because that's my kid, but I don't care.
Well, no, I've interacted with her too, and I've literally, she definitely almost had me at Chuck E. Cheese. Yes, she did. She almost had me at Chuck E. Cheese. She had it all. She had all the right answers. All the right answers, man. It went from, my dad said we were gonna go to Chuck E. Cheese. She's like, "Gigi, remember you said you want to go to Chuck E. Cheese?" My dad, remember? And I said, "Yeah, I remember that." I was like, "But I don't have your car seat." She was like, "It's okay, we can walk." My dad said it's okay. I said, "Wow, she was gonna have us walking to Chuck E. Cheese." Yo. She was good. I almost believed it. I said, yo, Greg.
You're about to walk the 22?
I don't know. Obviously, we would have taken Uber or something like that. But we couldn't even take Uber. We had no chair.
She had no car seat.
She had a car seat. Yeah, we had to walk. Yeah.
You do not get in the car with no damn car without no damn car seat.
We were walking. We were gonna walk. Yeah, no car seat.
Know.
Yeah.
I found myself today just looking back. I was like, yo, you're a good kid. Because you could be a terrible kid. I don't think I could deal with that. Get an ass whooping every day.
I don't think you're that type of dad.
No, I don't need to be.
Yeah.
I'm very strict. And that's okay. That's why she like her mama more. But it's okay.
I'm screaming.
She'll appreciate it in the future.
I'm screaming.
Want to jump into these topics?
Absolutely. I'm surprised that we haven't already. We've been talking for so long.
Let's call the conversation.
Yeah.
Me or you?
I can go. Or, like, I feel like your topic went into my topic.
Your topic was... I can go with mine.
Yeah.
So my topic is a scenario, sort of. But let's say you are in a relationship with somebody. Let's give it 6 months to a year is your relationship right now. And your friend, your bestest, like your friend, damn near brother or sister, comes to you and starts telling you that nigga ain't for you. And giving you the rundown of why this person ain't for you. How do you respond? Let me break it down because I already know how this is going to go. How do you respond to your friend first?
I'm going to take 2 steps back. I'm going to no longer share any type of information with them about my relationship.
Really?
I believe that they have every right to feel the way that they feel because I've introduced that information to them. Right? So the only way that you can tell me this person's not for me is because I've told you this person is not for me. By my words, by my experiences. Like you've put yourself in a position where it's like you open yourself to criticism. You can't expect me to tell you what's going on in my life and you shouldn't have an opinion. I've opened that to you because I gave you that. I've obviously trusted you enough with the information to hear some type of feedback at this point. And so I can't really fault my friend, but I will understand that if I'm not ready to make that decision, you do not.
Do you take anything that they're saying into consideration? This is your person. Like this is
no. My thing is that, like, funny enough, this individual doesn't understand that everything that they tell him, I already know that already. If you know me, and I think that sometimes people are blinded by certain things, but if you're aware of what's going on, and at this point, it's always going to be your decision. I don't think it's any right of anybody. Everybody has to live their own lives. For you to tell me what you think I should do is your opinion, and all I could do is respect that. But I also have to understand that if I'm not doing what you are suggesting, I now need to realize that I need to take 2 steps back. Like I said, it's not about us ending our relationship. This is about just creating boundaries, and the idea that I've now realized that you feel that you have enough staying in my life to tell me who I need to be with. Now, granted, if I'm getting hurt physically and, having Stockholm syndrome, yes, I might be a little, stuck in it. But if these are emotional things, like sometimes people got to go through shit to understand when it's time for them to get out. Like there are situations, there's a lot of situations where you get to a point where you had enough and you need to walk away. Now, nobody had to tell you what you had to do. You probably heard it, but it's at the end of the day, it's your decision. But no one should tell me what to do about my life. I'm not your child. You know what I'm saying? We ace boom coons, you know what I'm saying? I'm ride or die. I will always want to look out for your best interest. I will never tell you what to do. I would only ask you questions so you can see what you're saying to make your own decisions. But I will never tell somebody that person not for you unless they whooping your ass. Or I've seen that they've been strongly manipulative to your feelings or abusing you on an emotional or mental level. But again, it wouldn't even be me telling them what to do. It'd be more asking questions and letting them answer the questions for them to see what they may need to do. Now, once they decide what they want to do, I'll never tell somebody to leave somebody.
Cool.
That changes the dynamic of our relationship too, because now that you know that this may or may not be your person, despite the flaws I might see in them, that creates a rift between us. Because now if there's any other time where we want to chill or things like that, we want to be around each other, yes, you could fake the funk and just be like, be on your best behavior, but do you genuinely want the person that you care about at that time to be around someone that doesn't believe that they're worthy of being around you? Now I gotta split up my time, even if I want you in my life. Like, it just becomes too much. So I would definitely take 2 steps back, not because I don't care about them, and it's not that they don't care about me. But if I still decide to be in this relationship, you can't be my sounding board. I know what side you're on. So it don't matter what I say to you now. Now I know you always against the relationship.
And in the reverse, you wouldn't say anything.
Like
if your friend they was messing with somebody, and you just you just know this nigga ain't for you, or this chick ain't for you, you're not saying a word.
We having conversations. I'm never telling somebody to leave him. I'm always having a conversation about the woman or the man or whoever my friend is at the time. It's never about me telling you what to do. I'm just asking the questions to help you, guide you through what answers that you want. If you want this, then you want this, then the outside noise is on you. But X, Y, and Z, like, are you able to see this, and how are you able to respond to that? Is that something that you're able to continue to do with your life? Is this the person that you believe that you want to be with? Like, these are questions that you are answering, so it's for you. It's not for me. I'm not living your life. My best interest is to be able to support you in the capacity that you feel like that you need to be in. And if you feel like this is your person, regardless of how I feel about that person, has nothing to do with me.
Okay. I understand what you're saying, and that is super black and white. Let's put some color into it now. Because let me tell you how influence works, right?
Okay.
I'm talking to you about my significant other or the person that I'm with right now, and we're cool. So I'm just you're my safe space. I can tell you whatever, and I'm like, yo, I think this might be it. And if you respond, you gotta do what you gotta do. In Gigi's mind, I know you are saying I didn't tell you what to do. But on the receiving end of that, you not stopping me tells me all that I need to know.
Okay, but I can't stop you for you to make the decision.
Do you understand what I said?
I understand what you're saying, but I need you to just think about me. Because that's my response.
That's why I said.
So for my response is, because if the next day you decide to leave or you decide to go, it doesn't change anything, because I'm just allowing you to have an answer for yourself. Sometimes people let things become so out of control that they lose the idea of there's a yes and a no answer to a lot of the things that they want to deal with and not want to deal with.
And that is totally true. Only thing what I'm getting at is that, like, if you were for the person that I was with, you would say something like, I don't know, you should think about that.
No, but
you would not.
I would never be that vague, Greg. That's why I'm like, you're confusing the conversations. I ask questions. My thing is that I would never just say do what you have to do. This would be a conversation where I asked all the questions to help them navigate their actual feelings for the situation that they're in. So at the end of the conversation, it's already a determining factor of what they want to do, but they've already made that decision by the questions I've asked them. So there's nothing that I said to steer them in one way or steer them in another way, because at the end of the day, there's things that I don't know that you don't always tell me. And I'm not saying you in particular, Greg. Let me land. I'm not saying you in particular. I'm just saying just in general, like, when it really comes to relationships, there are things where, regardless if this is a safe space, you keep in your relationship, because that's just where certain people are just like that. And so there may be situations or things that may have happened that I may not be aware of. So for me to assume just because of whatever Cliff Notes you decide to give me on whatever day it is, that doesn't encapsulate your whole relationship for me. So I can't defend or deny a relationship that I'm not wholly a part of, because you might be that friend that only tell me when bad things happen. I never know when good things happen, but then I don't hear from you. So it's like, when I now have a mindset, it's like, but I don't know everything. I haven't heard about the good times. So I'm creating a narrative where I may not be aware of the full picture. So who am I to say this is not the person? Regardless, if I just hear about the good times, there might be times where there's bad times. And you just decide, like, I just don't want to share that with G. I just want to keep the vision of a good time. And so then for me, I could be rooting for somebody that be whooping your ass, but because you never told me or I never saw them whooping your ass, I'm now caping for somebody. So I'll never make that decision to say, oh no, you need to think about that. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna have a real conversation with you, ask you real questions about yourself, what your needs are, and how your person has done that for you or what they haven't done, and you make that determinate decision. I can only support that. If you decide to go back, do that, but I'm not gonna tell you to leave.
Yes or no question.
Go.
You don't think your questions tend toward a favor or let me put it in the most simplest terms possible. You don't think your line of questioning could give off, not saying that it does, but you don't think your line of questioning can give off the fact that you are for or against someone?
No, they are usually neutral.
Yes or no question?
No.
That's a lie.
Okay.
I've been in a situation with you. Because I know, because once it was done, you told me how you felt about the person.
Yeah, after,
but I know because I could. It's
after,
easy.
But I never disrespected.
Let me land. Now let me land. My turn.
Okay.
Because my thing is, right, I hear what you're saying, and in a black and white world, I 1,000% believe you. Or not even. Let me say in a black and white world, I'm gonna say with someone that you are cordial or friends, I'm going to make it personal with me. I don't think that if I told you today that I'm thinking about ending it, just thinking about it, of course you would ask all the questions to understand how I got there. And then let's just say at the end of it all, the last question was, or my last statement to you was, yeah, I think it's done. I don't think you're just going to be like, well, we had this conversation. This is your decision. I honestly believe you would say something to the lines of, you should really think about this. And it's still you not telling me what to do, but you clearly have an interest in which way I decide to go.
So you're saying that if I wasn't for it, I would say, well, Greg.
Yes.
Okay. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
I can't. I want to say I agree with you, but at the same time, no, because when I was having, if you believe that, and I'm going to tell you about a situation where I felt like that's where I was going with you, and you made the complete opposite decision.
It happened.
No, but I'm just telling you, like, in that situation.
Like, what you're saying though, it happened.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it happened. So when I was just like, if that is the case, then I technically have no, because you still will make the determining factor.
Absolutely, and I want you to understand that I'm very clear about that. Gigi is not making the decision.
Okay.
You are not. That's not what I'm getting at.
I will never tell you yes.
I'm saying that you don't think that you would influence based on the questions that you ask, or based on which way you think the person should lean.
In that situation.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta.
It was just too much too soon. I wasn't right. I couldn't. It was a lot. All right. Let me try to bring this back, because regardless of what you decided, I still supported you.
I know. That's not. I 1,000% believe you would support me.
But. All right, you got me. I don't know, like but that was like that. It was like, but like, who am I to tell you that you're wrong? You know, like
I don't think you would. I don't think that you would tell me I'm wrong. You would not give me any definitive. Don't do it. You would. I just know. I know you.
Okay, and I feel like this question was about. This question was about me, but it's fine. Like, I get that.
I take it off me. Let's bring it back.
Okay, but I get what you're saying. I can see what you're saying, but again, I think the question and my answer is still like a double. Like it's a yes and a no.
That's fine.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Just so that I answer it. If my friend told me something about the person that I'm dating,
Yeah.
Well, one, it wouldn't get there.
What do you mean?
Because I don't introduce nobody on that level unless I'm sure about them. Sure enough to where, because I see it, I wish I could see her face. Lord have mercy. Sure enough to the point where it's like, what is wrong with you? Are you good? Yeah, I wouldn't introduce anyone to my friends. If
I'm sorry, Greg.
Yeah, if I knew that they was gonna have something negative to say.
Interestingly enough, you've had situations where they have had negative things to say.
Who? That's what editing is for. I don't know what the fuck that mean.
The big girl.
Nobody said anything bad about her either.
No, I'm talking about she said bad things about us. Well, me.
Oh, it's the other way around. I was talking about the other way around.
Oh, so you can't.
None of my friends will ever say anything bad about anybody I bring around. What she say about y'all, that's on her. I can't control that.
Okay.
That was a non-factor, but I get you.
Still brought her around.
What?
That was enough. It was too much, actually.
How was that too? Shut up. Yo, shut up. What?
I'm over it. Let's keep.
And you already answered the question. I would not tell my friend if I had a problem with their person, because that's just not my place.
I agree.
Unless you are being physically harmed.
Yeah, like there's at this point.
But you said you said emotionally manipulated.
Mm-hmm, I would say something.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say something like, again, like not tell you to like leave. That it's a different type of.
It's not even telling them to leave. Just tell them that you're being emotionally manipulated.
That's.
Like, I wouldn't say that to them either.
No, I would ask them the questions. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get questions.
Jesus?
Am I what?
You Jesus?
No, what?
Could you just ask a whole bunch of questions?
Don't be blasphemous like that. Don't do that. I ask questions to lead them to understand, like, there may be things that they may not be aware of. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's hearing yourself say these answers, or even when you're talking about it, to better understand what's happening. Because sometimes when you're in it and you're so locked in with someone, regardless if it's good, bad, or indifferent, you forget what's right and wrong sometimes.
Absolutely.
You said love is illogical, right? So at that
Absolutely.
point, it becomes so grayed out that you can't see the black and white anymore. Everything has a reason or an explanation to it when you realize, like, it's not okay.
Yeah.
Right? And so when I'm having those conversations with individuals, that I may see that, one, you're already telling me about it. So there's, like I said, once you tell somebody about anything that's going on in your relationship, you have now opened that person to have an opinion on it. You can't be mad on how they respond to you, because you are providing them with the information to respond to you in any way that they see fit. If you make somebody feel some type, or you say something to offend somebody, or you say like, you can't not be upset with the response, because you already opened that line of dialogue already.
Agreed.
If that was the case, then go talk to a wall. It won't say nothing back. But if you are going to an actual individual where you may or may not, and I feel like as we get older, we kind of understand the energy that we're looking for. And so how we depict a situation, or who we decide to tell the situation to, we're already aware of the kind of response that you're going to get. Now, some people may not like the response, that they understand that sometimes they need to hear it back so they can understand the reality of it. Sometimes people become so manipulative that reality for certain individuals don't seem real anymore, so they got to check themselves. But at the same time, you can't be upset with the person that you're telling that information to.
Agreed.
Okay. That's all I got then.
Cool.
Wait, you would never? You won't tell somebody to leave? Well, no, you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. No.
Ain't my business.
Me? Okay. So it's kind of a piggyback off your conversation. So it kind of continues just in a different aspect. But if you and your significant other was out and they did something that you may or may have not agreed with, or said something that you may or may not have agreed with, well, no, you didn't agree with. It's not may or may not. You didn't agree with. Do you take that moment and do it right then and there? Or do you wait till you go home and have that conversation? Would you like support them, or, decide that I need to tell them that this ain't it?
I will never argue with my significant other outside of my house. So, to answer the question, nope, you wrong, I'm riding with you 100% in public. Or, I just might not say nothing. But one thing I'm not going to do is embarrass you. If I feel like you are a reflection of me,
yeah,
you may be saying some bullshit right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to add fire to the bullshit.
Yeah.
By saying, babe, you're wrong. Nah, I'm like, if it depends on as soon as it becomes like a bashing against her, I'm jumping in and I'm going to be wrong with her.
Okay.
But if it's just like a one-on-one confrontation kind of thing, nah, you're going to ride that out by yourself. I'm not going to say nothing. And when we get home and be like, you was wrong, right? But never in public.
I think it depends on the type of time I'm on. Because I feel like I'm an individual that I wait for my cup to get overfilled for me to actually have a true reaction. I'm really good at fake it till you make it. And sometimes there's a place and time for everything. I'm really keen on that. So my first response is, that's my objective. Mm-hmm. But when I feel blatantly disrespected, am I going to get loud? No. But I will leave. I won't argue. I'll try to have a conversation where we can find a compromise so we can be here. And once I feel like that this is becoming something that's going to become combative and we no longer can enjoy our time, I'm going to remove myself. Mm-hmm. Now, scenario, let's play it out. Let's say we out at a restaurant. Again, the objective is not to ever show real emotion at a restaurant, because guess what? Everybody's an audience at a restaurant. You always see what's going on at a restaurant all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you try to be as private and socially acceptable as you would want. Mm-hmm. But when you get to a place where there is so much animosity or tension, again, I will remove myself. Will I return? Absolutely. I got to get home. I still got to eat my food. But before I do anything out of character or get too loud or belligerent or become an individual that I do not want anyone to perceive me to be, I will take myself and I will go step outside and I will take a couple of deep breaths and I will reset. Mm-hmm. And I will eat my dinner, maybe not, depending on how my appetite is. But I would love to be in this space where I can have that, where I'm not acting out, that's what I said, like, usually that's my persona. Like, I'd rather we could do this at home where it's in private in our space and we could have a genuine conversation than me trying to reprimand you or tell you about yourself in front of anybody. I'm going to support you. But if I've already been in a space with you and we're not okay, and there has been a space where this conversation may not be going in a way where it's conducive to us or this meal, I have to remove myself. I'll come back, try to eat my meal, maybe not. I might have to go home, decompress. I might eat it when I get home, and then we'll have that real conversation, or I'll probably just left with my food. So I'm indifferent to the situation. It's a yes or no.
It's not. I think you're all the way no.
What do you mean?
Because it's the same.
I don't do it all the time.
So because now you presented a different way of thinking about this question. Because I was thinking about we're in a place and she's just wrong about what's happening in the situation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like my answer still stands firm on that. I'm not going to call her out in front of everybody.
So yes, okay, so I understand.
So
what you're
now
saying.
you're talking about she disrespecting me.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
In public.
Understood.
I'm walking away.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying.
Like, I don't think I'm coming back. Like, I'll see you at home. Figure out how you're going to get there.
I'm screaming.
Because that's one thing. Well, one, no one, well, let me ask, you can't predict anything. But like you said, if we know at home we ain't good, we not going nowhere together. No. Because batteries getting backs, alcohol getting system, or whatever. Nope. Do our own thing.
Yeah.
We could go separately. We could do something different. I'm not leaving the house with that kind of energy thinking we're going to fake the funk.
But you're also more of an emotionally intelligent man than others. So you're more attentive to, your woman and the mood changes. I want to say. I'm just being your friend. Like you're aware. Now, do you always respond accordingly? Maybe not, but you're definitely aware. So I think that is different. I think that sometimes there are some men that are, I don't want to call them self-centered, but are so not in tune with their woman or their person or whoever they're trying to date at that point in time that they're not even aware that they're not okay. Yeah. That they're just like, I want to have this good time and you should have this good time too. And I'm just like, we haven't even been
we
okay.
wasn't, but we're not having a good time.
And how can we have
and
a
for
good
me
time?
that's more important.
And so I think that's the difference between you. Now granted, there are men like you. I'm not saying like that's the majority of men. For sure. But that's the lane of what I'm saying. But now let's go back to what my question is, which you answered initially, which I would agree with you, and yes, I'm gonna ride with my person. He could be wrong to the ninth power. I'm going to be wrong with him. And I'm gonna wait till we even get in the house. Because if you don't know if the fuel's still going, I had to remove them.
I'm telling you, if it's to the point where like she's getting group ganged on by a bunch of people for her wrong opinion, it's gonna be to the point where I'm going to start being the biggest cheerleader, the biggest supporter, to the point that when we get home, I'm like, yo, you can't believe that they was talking about that shit like that. Even though we still wrong, I know we wrong, and I know I'm wrong. And I don't care.
So at this, okay. So you're not even doing it in private either. We are just gonna be two wrong niggas. If it gets to that point, absolutely. What? Then I agree with you. I don't even care because at this point it became too much and it was just us against the world and fuck them niggas. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I get it. Yeah, no, I totally get it. I'm with you. So okay, so we actually agree with this conversation. But yes, I gotta walk away. And if I have to leave to go somewhere else, if we are having a moment, I'd rather do that because I'm not going to do anything. Plus, I don't condone violence or anything like that. But I know that I am very, like I said, I'm very good with my words, and I use my words in a way where I can build you up or I can take you down. And I start realizing that sometimes it's just better for you to walk away than try to hurt somebody because you feeling some type of way. Because it's a momentary moment that will change, because if you ain't going nowhere, then girl, you gotta relax.
I think it's a part of I like to call it a part of my pettiness. I'm super petty. Like you can ask my child. Like she can cry and I will let her cry. I'm not going to engage with you in your hysteria. Once I was in Target and she just flipped out. And I walked, did my shopping, came back, said, "You good? You ready? All right, now we can talk." I'm not going to sit there. We was just at light rail and this happened. This nigga was going off. And me and Jenny wanted to walk away. This man was being hysterical. And I did not I felt uncomfortable. And I stayed only because I think I stayed because of Kwani. But I was like, nah. This is some real.
Was he just being belligerent?
Yes. Cause he felt like he was being attacked, but nobody was attacking him. And he just went crazy, like dropping F-bombs and just mad. We almost got kicked out.
The whole place?
Mm-hmm.
Because of him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's the point of you telling me this story?
Then I usually would walk away, but I didn't walk away in that situation. And that's because it was other people there. If it was one-on-one, I would have dipped and left them with the bill. You want to be loud? You want to get us kicked out?
Oh, so like the person that was loud, y'all was with?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I just thought it was like a random person.
Nope. We was having a meeting, and old boy just flipped out.
Was it just too much alcohol?
No. He just felt like he was being attacked. And you know how you said there was something on your chest and you got around certain people and just went off. And I'm like, this is not the place to go off. Not at all. And I'm already like I'm on cloud 9. And it just brought me all the way back down. I was so upset. I think it was Taco Tuesday.
I'm screaming.
But yeah, I would have usually walked away because it was a group setting. I did.
Yeah, I walk away. I don't condone violence. At this point, like I got more to lose than for me to even have to want to put hands on people. Do I think about it sometimes? I see the little short film go through my head. But at the end of the day, it's like it's honestly not worth it. And to drain my energy off of someone that's already giving me negative energy, it's not even worth it. Just remove yourself from that space. But like I said, usually like if that happens to me, I usually kind of reset and I go back and I try to be okay. But I rather argue at home. I don't like to argue in public. I refuse to argue.
I refuse to argue in public. That's just not who I am.
But if somebody's messing with my person and my person happen to be wrong, but we gonna be wrong together.
That's because we're not arguing against you. We're arguing against the world.
Yes, and I'm gonna support. I don't care.
Got you, baby.
In fact, you're not even wrong. I thought you was right in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They're funny.
They're wrong.
Yeah, they're wrong twice. Like, why even continue this?
It is 8 days in a week. I don't care.
I don't shoot.
Shit. Y'all don't know about that other day after Sunday? Fuck y'all talking about?
That's exactly what that day is.
We good?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much if you have made it to the end of this show. We end every show with a section called Do Dialogue. Do Dialogue is the time we talk about something that we found interesting in the past couple of weeks. Do you got anything?
I've been reading, Audible's been reading to me, but I've been using Audibles a lot. My coworker Kelly, shout out to you. Well, you don't even know that. It don't matter. We started like just talking about books, and we found that we both like psychological thrillers. So we've been reading a lot of books together. Now she reads so much faster than me, and she uses like Kindle. And for me, I'm like listening to Audible. So like for me, it takes me some time because obviously like I'm working, and so I do it like maybe I'm getting ready to go somewhere, or I'm driving, things like that. But she's like finished most of the books. But the last book, well, I'm currently reading a new book, but the last book that I read is called If You Tell. I was just telling Baylor about it. Shout out to you, Baylor. How are you doing, my friend? Long time no speak. We gotta get him on here one of these days. But If You Tell is based off a true story, and it's about a woman who ends up getting married and having children and end up abusing the children emotionally, mentally, physically. She also ends up, and okay, these are spoiler alerts, so again, all right, let me see if I can be general, because I think that if anybody's into like psychological thrillers and true story, true crime, because I'm into that, I don't want to mess it up for you, but I'm going to tell y'all what it is. So if you don't want to hear it, please skip over a couple of seconds or 2 or 3 or 30 or 60, because I'm about to tell y'all what's going on. So anyway, she has these kids. I'm gonna say like 3 kids, and she has like a nephew that she's like watching over, and she ends up manipulating them and like starting to abuse them. Like, and it comes off that she's like low-key bipolar, but no one really says anything. She ends up having these 2 friends. One friend is a woman. She used to have a hair salon. She actually used to do her hair. Her name is Shelly. That's the lady. That's crazy. Her name is Shelly, and she had a friend that she used to get her hair done at the salon. And slowly but surely, like, the lady lost her salon, and she also lost like her income, so she wasn't able to really live like on her own. So Shelly invited her over and said, you could stay with me till you get back on your feet. She ended up starting abusing the lady, started making the lady start cleaning like she's the maid. She had her sleeping on the floor. She was half naked most of the time. One time when she started manipulating her, she started telling her that she was sleepwalking, y'all. She was telling she was sleepwalking, and she's going to the refrigerator and she's eating. She eating all the food. And so in order to do that, she would put like pies under her bed and empty candy wrappers under her bed, and telling her like, you see, like you've been eating like every time you go to sleep, like you are fat, you gotta stop doing this. It gets to the point where the lady ends up losing so much weight because she ends up starving her. She ends up making her sleeping on the porch and in the barn, half naked. When she has to clean the garden, she don't got no shoes on. She ends up dying, which her nephew ends up helping her with, the one that she's watching over, and her husband, and they end up burning her. After that, they said they don't trust the nephew because he was there and he might tell somebody. So they end up killing him and told the kids that he ran away. And then there was another man who happened to be of the LGBTQ community, and he ended up falling into depression, and his spouse ended up leaving him and falling into more depression where he didn't have a place to stay, and he stayed with his mother, and she ended up manipulating the situation, making his mother believe that he doesn't want to live there, and making the conversations that he has with him that she doesn't want to live there. I mean, that she doesn't want him to live there, to the point where he ends up moving in with her. And again, she starts the whole process again, to the point where he only can wear like underwear. He doesn't wear no shoes and no clothes. And he would sit under her desk like a little puppy. He would end up cleaning the gutters, and he would fall off, and they would make him jump off the roof several times till his foot bust, and he had him sleeping on the porch. Then he died too. It was crazy. I'm just gonna say, fast forward, the lady went to jail, but she is out now, and so is the husband. Now, I don't know if they're under the same names, but the story was so crazy, to the idea where I get how some kids may be able to be manipulated by their parents because that's what they're growing under. But the idea that you've also been able to manipulate people to understand how people could be so vulnerable in states where they think that the love is so toxic that they accept it to the point of their demise is crazy. Woo, Greg, it was a good book. It was such a good book. It was too good a book that I was just like, this is not happening. And to know that this happened in real life is so scary.
You audibled it?
Yeah. It was so good. But that is my do dialogue. The book again, it's 11. The book again is called If You Tell, and I'm gonna tell you who the author is right now. I wanna say it's like Greg something. It is, no, I'm so serious. It is come on, sorry y'all. It is by Greg Olson. Yeah, it's Greg with 2 G's at the end though, but that's who wrote the book. It's a really good book. Greg, what's your new dialogue?
My new dialogue is shout out to Aftermath. Record label, Dr. Dre. This is the year of Aftermath, and people just need to come to grips with it. Between Kendrick and all of his antics, and Eminem dropping the album, and Dr. Dre and Marsha dropped the album today, an R&B album called Casablanca. Go check that out. It is phenomenal. It's like very musically instrument. Like Dr. Dre stuck his big toe in it, and it was just. Marsha, she's the she wrote Butterflies by Michael Jackson. And She also was in Floetry.
Yes.
Yeah. So
She has a good album.
she does.
Yeah,
And
she
this
does.
album, she got the song on there called Wet.
Ooh, you gotta.
It's a great
I'm
album.
gonna send you some songs from her last album.
Please do.
It's
I'm a fan.
phenomenal.
I would definitely listen to her music, more of her music.
It's
And she got the British accent. You can hear it when she sings.
Yeah, it's called Friends and Lovers.
No, I haven't heard it. Yes,
It's a good album.
So yeah, shout out to Aftermath and Dr. Dre and Interscope for giving us quality fucking music. Appreciate it wholeheartedly.
I like that. You know what? I feel like he recently came out. He was on
Dre?
K-Dot.
Yeah, he came out on.
And I feel like that had made me like even like help him fuel.
He's been on a press run himself. But he's basically promoting this album, though.
I love that, and I feel like that's what it has been giving.
Yeah.
Absolutely, to him coming back out. You know, we waited so much for the Chronic album, so shout out to that.
That shit ain't never happened.
Okay.
We got Compton. That was it. Which was also a great album. But yeah, so shout out to all of Aftermath, and yeah, this has been a good year in music if you like rap and R&B on some levels too. So yeah, that's my new dialogue.
I love that, Greg. Thank you so much for making it this far in this episode. Greg and I appreciate you appreciating us, having all this dialogue today. Greg, you want to let them know how they can find you and how they can find us?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Sorry, on X and Instagram at Greg Nelson26, and follow the pod on X, Instagram, and TikTok at JustAConvo_pod. Listen to us on iTunes, or not iTunes, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Acast, Amazon, or wherever you like to listen to your podcast.
I love it. And you can find me. I don't know if y'all really gonna find me, but I'm gonna try the best that I can to the ability that.
If you live in New Jersey, you might pop up on her, but
How?
I don't know. They might just see you out. It's not like you be in the house.
All right, cool. You can find me
Walking Carly.
Sometimes things are too soon, Greg.
What?
You know, I had lost her at one point. Like,
I wasn't even thinking. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, you could be seeing me walking Carly though. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter. I don't know if they keep saying that, but in my mind, it's still Twitter.
Some people refuse to call it X. Like they just refuse. Like this is never gonna be called X.
Well, when you have to pull it up on your phone, you can't type Twitter. You got to put X.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. I still do it because I really like the name Twitter. It was really good.
I do too.
But you can find me at GCarly7, and that's GQARLY and the number 7. And if you forgot today, if someone didn't tell you today, if you need to be reminded today, if you just needed to set boundaries today, Greg and I want you to go be great. Gigi.